I want to talk about the Australian bushfires here for a second, because if you've been watching the news over the last week or so, you've probably seen the images. You've seen the really heartbreaking images of people fleeing their homes, firefighters battling these flames, the things that we kind of see here. But you know, it's different because it's in Australia. So you might see koalas versus, say, mountain lions that we would have here. So there's a different area, but the scene that's unfolding is a huge fire outbreak that is now far outpacing almost anything we've ever seen across the planet. And let me explain what's going on here. Very extreme hot, dry weather has set up for the last couple of weeks, and it's an offshore pattern, just like we have here in California. So it's fire conditions, and it's really early to see something like this. But now it's a whole new level. What we have here is essentially an unbroken line of thick, dense, hazardous smoke that goes for about 350 miles. And then upstream from that are dozens and dozens and dozens of bushfires, which we would call wildfires, that are fueling all the hazardous smoke flowing into this area. So this scale is really hard to imagine, to understand, but this would be like an unbroken line of hazardous smoke, and then behind that, just endless wildfires from Boston to Delaware. That would dominate national news for weeks in America, because most of news media is based on the East Coast, so it really matters there. But let's put it closer to us. What would that be like? That would be like if we had dozens and dozens and dozens of wildfires burning from essentially the very bottom of the Sierra near Lake Isabella, almost clear up to about Chico. Unbroken wall of flames that's fanning smoke and haze all the way to the coast for 350 miles. So you'd see the same situation from essentially Fort Bragg all the way down to Southern California. That scale is difficult to imagine, but that's what we're looking at. And what's very difficult about this situation is that this was predicted. This is something that has been in the works for a long time. Let's go back to 2013. Australia was getting so hot, so often, at such unprecedented levels for their climate record that they had to add a brand new color contour on their map, exceeding anything for widespread areas that they've ever seen before. They did this back in 2013, and with the highlight of this, that they were expecting it is a sign of things to come. Well, not only do they routinely hit this purple color now, they are actually exceeding that. And there may be a new color contour that they're going to have to add to the map. Now remember, Australia is almost uniformly a hot, dry place anyway. And even for them, they're having a very difficult time with what's going on. Just recently, before Christmas, they hit a new average maximum high temperature record of 107 degrees, average for the entire country. And what the problem with that is that they have very few places climate-wise that are forested, that are just different from the rest of the country, and that's exactly what is on fire. It's going to take a long time for that to come back. The question that we have for ourselves are scenes like we're seeing at the beaches of Australia, with everybody flooding to the coast, because that's the last place that the fire is going to go before it hits the ocean there. Are scenes like this going to play out in California and other spots around the world in the future? Unfortunately, climate and weather saying yes.